Hello, hello, everyone. It is Brenda here for Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. All right, so tonight we are going to have some fun with All and Create, which is something a little bit different. I normally don't do this kind of. I love All and Create, but it's been a while since we've done this, and I thought I would just explore the kind of the new collection that was just released a while ago. And this actually is a quite the bold and beautiful um, collection. It consists of layering washi tape. It consists of rub-ons, and it consists of ephemera. So I really wanted to kind of show you this evening what kind of things you can do with all the little bits and pieces. All right. So a couple of different projects we're going to show you here as well. So welcome to everyone that's tuning in live, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Welcome. If you have any questions or comments throughout the video, please pop them in the comments section and I will answer them as best I can online. And let's just get started. Let's have some fun. All right, so this evening, like I said, we're going to play with All and Create. And there are 4 new layering washi tapes, all right? And do I have the names of them in here? All right, so we have number 144, which is Peony's Airmail. We have 145, which is Floral Whispers. 142, which is Butterfly Correspondence. And 143, which is Petals Kiss. So when you open up one of these packages, it will be wrapped in cellophane and it will have a label on there. And what I've done is I've just taken the label off where the number and the name is and kind of just ripped a section on there and just put it on the inside. This way I can always remember which one it is. So just a little helpful tip there. All right, so those are the washi tapes. And then there was 2 kind of ephemera packs. We had number 89 and number 88. 89 is called Sun Blush Garden. And then number 88 is Sorbet Petals. All right, but you can see the bright colors on these ones. Really, really lovely. And then there are 4 rub-ons to go with this collection as well. So look at these. Look at these. These are just pretty awesome. And we have Citrus Kissed Meadows, which is rub-on 22. Rub-on 23 is Dancing Poppies. Rub-on 25 is Bloomscape. And then rub-on 24 is Zesty Blossoms. All right. They're a mixture of florals and of butterflies and such, and just really, really fun. All right, so let's just have some, we're going to do some card fronts first with the washi tape, just so that you can see what the layering washi tape is all about, and you can see the lovely pattern. So I'm going to bring down my camera just a little bit so you can see. All right, so I don't want to make you dizzy. All right. All right, so that we've got a little bit of a closer view now of my paper here, so you can kind of take it all in. All right, so we're going to start with this one, which is number 145, which is Flora Whispers. Now, we've shown layered washi tape before, and every time we show this as a demo, it blows people away. Like, they just love the look of it. If you've never done one of these before, basically, these washi tapes will have a length that is divided into 4 sections. And then when you layer those sections together, it will create an image. All right. So typically when I get a new washi tape, I will unroll a section and figure out where the 4 sections are, where the repeat is. So I can see that I have the little butterfly here, and then it's going to repeat over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip off one length here. So I'm just going to rip off there. All right. Then I have my length, and I'm going to now kind of figure out where I am going to rip to make the 4 little lengths. All right. So these ones are a little bit easier than some in the past. All right. You'll see that there's kind of a gap in between there. So it makes it really simple. So you're just going to rip them. Now, depending on where your roll starts, sometimes the pieces are not in order. And that's why I like to put a whole length out and rip them into the 4 little lengths, and then I can figure out my image. All right, it's washi tape. It's very, very forgiving. So Even if it gets stuck on a paper, you are able to take it off because it is washi tape. All right, so I've kind of done the 4 little lengths now. All right, so then I either look at the top, look for the top one or the bottom piece. All right, so I'm going to start here because I know this is definitely a bottom piece. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm just putting it on white cardstock here. So I'm just going to kind of center it as best I can. It's got ripped edges, it doesn't matter. All right, so there's our first one. Now I'm going to take a look at what is on here that is going to now tell me what my next one is. On this one here, we've got some letters and all that, so I can see the letters on here. So then I'm just going to take this, and now this is a little tricky because the camera is kind of in the way for me to look at. All right, so then you're just going to match that up. You're going to butt them up. And again, if you don't get it the first time, you can lift up that washi tape and just stick it back down, which I love. All right. And then give it a little burnish. So now you can see the image is starting to come together. All right. So I'm going to move up, and we have little bits of yellow flour we still need. So I'm going to take a look at what I have. Oh, I see the little yellow bits on these ones. So I'm going to go ahead, take this one, and now I'm going to match this up. All right, so there we go. Oops, I didn't get that all the way. There we go. All right, and give that a little, oop, I have a little wrinkle in there, so I'm just gonna pull that up. And remember, it is washi tape. It's very forgiving. And then this will be my last piece. It's got that little bit of the pink floral on there. So I'm just going to, it's hard when the camera is in your bird's eye view, everyone. Just so you know, you will have a much easier time lining this up because you won't have a camera in the way. All right, so there is that lovely one. All right, and again, that is number, what did I say, 145. I'm going to write that on there, number 145. All right, so how pretty is that? All right, let's continue on. Let's do them all. So I'm going to go through this one a little bit quicker because you get the idea. Now, this is going to be number 143. All right. And again, I'm going to rip off or unwind a length. See where my repeat is. All right, so I see my repeat. I'm going to rip it there. And now I'm going to rip these into the 4 little lengths. All right. So again, these ones are easy because there is a little gap in between the patterns. So it makes it really simple to figure out where your 4 little pieces are. And now I have my 4 pieces, and now I got to figure out which is the bottom. All right, so I can see that this is the top of the flower. We've got a middle part flower, and this must be the bottom. All right, so we're going to grab this one, and let's start building this one up. All right, so I'm just going to figure out which one is which and just align it up. I think this is the Dancing Peonies. This one is probably my favorite. Is this the Dancing? No, this is Petal's Kiss. This is my second favorite then. All right, so look at how pretty those florals are. All right, and here is the next one. All right, so there is that beautiful image. And when you line it up, you really can't see the seams afterwards if you do a really good job lining that up. How pretty is that one? So that was number 43 or 143. All right, let's go to the next one. This one is 142. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. And find my repeat, and now I'm just going to rip in between. Okay, got the 4 lengths. Let's figure out what the bottom is. I tend to work from the bottom up. I know we can do from the top up as well. All right, that's the top. That one goes underneath. All right, so this is my bottom here. So let's put that down. And then this is the next one. And then the blue flower, you can see that these go together quite easily. And number one question that we get on these layering washi tapes is how many images can you get? You can get at least 25 images from here, from one roll. All right, so that's a whole lot of card fronts. But I'm going to show you other things that you can do with it as well. So there is that one. Look how pretty that one is. All right, and then last but not least, which one have we not done? This has got to be the blooming peonies. Oh no, peonies airmail is the name of it, which is number 144. And this is my favorite, only because I love peonies. All right, so this is number 144. All right, so let's do a length of these. Find where the repeat is. All right, I see the repeat, so I'm going to rip there. And then I'm going to do the 4 little sections. All right, and let's build this one now. All right, so it looks like this is going to be the bottom one. All right, so let's stick that down. And then this one will be next because it's got the little postmark on there. There's always like little elements that you can look and just match up. Though I just look for one to make it a little bit easier. Okay. And then this is the next one. Match up those florals. And finally, there, the top. And look at how pretty that one is. All right, so those are the 4 new washi tapes. All right, so I'm going to be doing some fun stuff with these ones, but I also want to show you the ephemera. Now I have a couple of things that are done here that I was working on. I mean, really quick and easy card fronts. All right, so what I've done is I've layered them on here and then added some of the die cuts. Now the die cuts, there are 2 different packages. They're a bunch of florals and butterflies, and then I've just layered them on. So now I could trim this down and then just mat it on a cardstock, and that is a beautiful little card front. All right, you can put a little sentiment on there, but they make really quick and easy. So I've done that for each of them, so you can kind of see how you can use the ephemera on there. All right, so we've just added another layer on there to make really quick and simple card fronts. All right, but let's take it up another notch. And I want to show you what you can do with dies. I'm going to do this with the rub-ons, and I'm also going to do this with the washi tape. And then we're going to pull this all together. Like I'm going to keep on building. So I'm just going to do another layer here. So let me just get this one done. I should have had these done in advance, but these are quick. These are quick. Shows you just how quick and simple that you can put these card fronts or card things together. All right, again, this is going to be the bottom. So for this here, we're actually going to use die cuts on this one here. All right, so I'm going to layer this up. Concentrating to get that. There we go. Okay, so that one. Okay, I got to bring it down because the camera's in the way. I got a couple of wrinkles in there, but that's okay. I'm just going to burnish them out. All right, and then our top piece. And then I'm going to grab a die, and I'm going to show you a really cool technique with the washi. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add rub-ons too. Let me add the rub-ons just so you can see them. Okay, so there is my washi, layered washi tape there. On this panel here, I'm just going to start applying rub-ons. So which one do I want? These are going to be the hard decisions. I think I'm going to go with the zesty. No, do I? Oh, these are too hard to choose from. All right, I'm going to just go with this one. This one is a zesty blossoms. Yes, zesty. All right, so in each of these packages, You're going to get 2 sheets, 2 different sheets, and you're also going to get a popsicle stick. All right, but take a look at these rub-ons. They are full page rub-ons. Look how beautiful they are. Just fantastic. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply an image on this one there, and then I'm going to go back and add some rub-ons onto this one. So for these ones here, because they are full image, I am not going to actually trim out little bits and pieces. I'm just going to use them randomly. So where do I want? What do I want? I think I'm going to go with this kind of area here. So for these ones here, normally I would cut out an image from a rub-on, but because this is all like kind of just all together, it's more of a collagey kind of look. I'm just going to place it on. All right. And gonna grab here and let's just get some of this on. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Now, when you're doing rub-ons, you want to put little pressure on there. And then I always like just take up a corner and see if it has applied. I don't rip the whole thing off, because if I missed an area, I can always go back and add it. All right, so. Oh, these are so beautiful. And because I didn't add extra pressure over here, I'm getting more of a tattered, distressed look. And that is what is going to look nice on the side. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, I know it's not absolutely perfect, but I can go in and add more. But look how beautiful that rub-on is. All right. I might go back. Let's see. So if I wanted to add more of this butterfly back in there, because I just have a partial wing, I am just going to line that back up as best I can. And then I can just add a little bit more pressure there and kind of build up that image. Yeah, that's better. All right. And then all this little raggedy stuff here, I will use that. And then you can actually put a rub-on on top of a rub-on, and it's just going to build up your background. All right, what else do we? Let's do a little bit of this here. And again, I apologize. I know I'm shaking the camera. All right, I like that. I'm going to stop there while I'm ahead. All right, so that is just my collagey background here. Now we're going to do something special with that in a second, but I am going to add a little bit more of rub-ons on this one here. And I just want to kind of hide the hard edges of the washi tape here. So I'm just going to just put a little bit here, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of rub here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just kind of adding. Look how beautiful that is. All right. So, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom here. Do I want more? I'm going to use this one here. So again, I'm just going to kind of just layer that on top and then just randomly do some rubbing. I don't want the full image there. I just want bits and, well, those were, I really did get bits and pieces of that. I want a little bit more than that. So let me see if I can line this up. I did such a good job that I can't line this up. All right, we're just going to go and commit some more here. I want to fill. All right, let's go. All right, that's better. Okay, so now we have these kind of collagey looks. This one is washi tape with rub-ons, and this one here is just the rub-ons. Now let's bring out some die cuts or some dies to show you what you can do with this. So I'm going to be using this one from All and Create. This one here is called Holy Fun. And it's got a variety of dies in there. All right. So it's going to have an outside die, which I will use for my base. All right. So I'm going to die cut that one out of white. This one here, the inside frame, I'm going to go ahead and lay that right on there and trim this out. All right. So let's go ahead, bring the die cut machine out. I'm going to raise up my camera now just because I'm going to break the die cut machine out and I need the room. So, or not. Okay, we're not because I tightened it and now I can't untighten it. All right, so you probably will just see the edge of my die cut machine. So I'm going to take the one with the washi tape and the rub-ons. I'm going to center this die on there. And let's die cut that out. So the cool thing is that washi tape will die cut beautifully. All right, so there's that. Look how beautiful that is now. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. We'll die cut that one out. And then we're going to do some more die cutting on there. All right, so I love doing this technique. And when I saw these rub-ons and washi, I just thought, what a perfect way to use them is with this technique. All right, so there is that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this one out of white. I'll do that off camera. And then it's going to be mounted on there. What I'm going to do now is I am going to use these two dies that are in there. All right, these are not the scalloped ones. They're just these smaller rectangles or squares. And I'm just going to place them on top of my little area here. All right, so just kind of randomly. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to die cut that. Now, if you're afraid those dies are going to move, you can definitely tape them down. I just went for it. All right, so they're going to pop out. All right, and there we go. That one's going to pop out. I'm going to come back to that one. Let's do something a little bit different on this one here. I'm going to put this frame on, and then I will do maybe that frame as well. Where do I want it? Maybe there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. This will all make sense in a second when I put this all together. Actually, I guess I'm going to have to cut up or die cut my bases as well. So this is a great technique for if you have nested dies. Now this one's not so much a nested die, but it has some really interesting shapes and I think it will work lovely. All right, so those are die cut. Let me cut two of these guys here. And then I have a really cool project to show you once I do this. All right, so let's cut two of these. This is a really great shaped die. I really like this die. Again, it's called Holy Fun. Look at the nice little, it's not a perfect scallop, it's like a distressed scallop. It's got the little dotted action on there, which I love. And let's do one more, and then I'm going to put these together as the card fronts, and then we'll add a little sentiment, quick and simple. And maybe we'll add some of the ephemera as well. All right. Okay. So now let's go ahead and put these together. All right, so we have our two bases. All right, so this one here, I'm going to put this one down flat, but I do have to poke out the little innards around the edge here. They have these cute little, not cute, but they're little holes around, just random. So we want to make sure that they're popped out. All right. So we can actually, we're going to put this all back together, but do I want to, I'm going to pop this guy up. All right. So this is the larger piece. I'm going to pop it up. So I'm going to grab my foam adhesive and let's add some. All right, so let's attach this now. Okay, I don't think there's a right or wrong way of how this one goes on. We're just going to center it in amongst those little dotted frame there. So, all right, so that is on. And now I'm going to take these pieces. I'm going to make sure that the little holes on these ones are also punched out. And we're going to place them back in, but these ones we're going to put in flat. All right. And when you do this, you always want to make sure you have your image the right way. So make sure things line up. So I'm going to place this back in there. And I love the look of this. Okay. And this one, oopsie. All right, so we'll just place that in there, and now it's going to be dropped in. I like using liquid glue just in case I need to shimmy it over a little bit. All right, so now we've got some really interesting texture on there, dimension, and then let's go ahead and put a sentiment on there. I think I'm going to, these ones here are a little bit snarky. I don't think this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use these ones here. And let's see what we can grab here. If I can open the package. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's just take a few out and let's see. Oh, there's a thank you. Let's go ahead and use a thank you. And I'm going to pop this up. All right, let's do the thank you. I'm going to shift it over to the right-hand side a little bit. And there is a lovely, quick and simple card. All right. So I know I've shown the technique where we've done the nested dies and made frames and done the same thing, but you can also put little shapes and set them up or down on your image, right? It just creates a little texture, dimension. All right, so there is that. I'm going to hold that there. We're going to come back to the ephemera pieces, but let's build this one up. All right, so let's do this one a little bit different. I'm going to, well, first I'm going to poke all the innards out. So this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to start where this one, our base or our first piece we popped up. This one I'm going to lay down flat. All right, did I get them all? Nope. They get camouflaged with all the wonderful goodness on there. All right, I think I got them all now. All right, so this one's going to go down flat. So I'm just going to use my glue. Oh, I still missed one. All right. All right, so let's center this one on. Okay, so there is that. And now the next piece, we're going to pop up. All right. So let's make sure I have all the innards off of this one. This one, I think we're good. I don't think that one pops out. No. Okay, we're good. All right, so let's pop this one up. I did not die cut these very straight. I should have taped them down. I can see my frame is a little wonky, but that's okay. The die's a little wonky itself, so. Oops, make sure your image lines up. All right, so now we have a little bit of pop up there. Now this last piece, we have one of two choices. We can inset this one and put it flat, or we can do a double pop dot. So let's see. So either we're going to pop it, I think we're going to pop it up. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to pop this one up. So we're going to do a double pop dot. So that, or a double foam adhesive. So I'm just folding my foam tape onto one another to create that double thickness. And then we will line this up. And what I love about this Holy die, Holy Fun, is that because it's got those little holes on the side, you get the white showing through as well, which creates a little bit of interest. All right, so there is that one. And now let's add a sentiment here. Let's do bloom. That seems fitting. That seems fitting for these florals. So I'm going to pop this one up. And let's put that there. And now that is another one. All right. So again, we've just layered them up. All right. So this one again was just the washi tapes. No, the rub-ons. This was the washi tape and the rub-ons. But two quick and simple card fronts using those. All right. So I need to tidy these up before I lose these. See, that one just went across my floor. All right, let's just put them on the magnet there so I don't lose them. All right, so now let's create one more layer using the ephemeras. All right, so I don't know which is the better pack. They're both lovely. You need them both. That's what I say. All right, so like I said, these are all full of florals and butterflies. So I'm just going to open up this pack here. And let's just see. I want some singular florals here. And then, ooh, I like this butterfly. All right, so this will work. All right, because I've already, ooh, there's a nice orange floral. Maybe we'll use that one. I like all the different sizes here. This one may be too big. Maybe I'll put that one there. Decisions. So much fun stuff in here. All right, I might have to go to the other one because I want a pink flower. There's a pink flower. Oh, this is a pretty flower too. Ooh, that might work. All right, I'm going to put that one there. Sorry, guys. This is like me just designing. You got to watch me as I pick and choose and... All right, I think I've used some of this stuff in here, so I know what is here. I'm going to go with the pink ones there. All right. So this one here, I'm going to go ahead and place on there. I'm going to use some foam adhesive and tuck it kind of in. So I'm going to like stick it right in here. I'm going to put my foam adhesive here. So all right, so there's our little floral there. So you can see that's there. And we need a butterfly on here. I'm going to come back to this one. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and pop up some of these elements. So I'm going to pop up my butterfly here. I'm going to just put a foam adhesive, and we're going to kind of put this right about there. And let's do a little foam adhesive behind this floral. Let's tuck it kind of underneath the thank you. And I'm wondering, yeah, I'm going to put that one down there. All right, so we're going to layer that. And I have that hanging onto that kind of little pieces hanging off the edge there. All right, so this one is done. All right, so really quick and simple. And then this, we just got to put a butterfly on there. So which butterfly do I want? I think I want a little pop of color. This one looks very cool. That one might be too big. Let's go with a smaller one. That one's too dull. You know what? I'm going to layer it on that one there. All right, so there is my second card. All right, so just a cool way of using all those elements. All right, so 2 cards done, but now let's make something really unique. And I can't take credit for this idea. This idea actually it came from Abs from Aall and Create. We were in a retailer show, and he showed this project, and I was just blown away by it. So I thought I would show you it as well. And it's based on the same things I just used now. So let me just tidy up a little bit. Move those to the side and move this to the side, move those to the side. All right, because I'm going to come back to these guys. All right, so I have a little, well, what did I do with it now? Missing. Oh, here it is. Silly me. All right, so this one is not done. I started this one, but I want to show you this. This is actually kind of a little book created from 1 page of 8.5 by 11 paper. And I'm going to show you how to do the little book. I've already put the washi tape in there. We're going to add rub-ons, and then we're going to add florals in there, and then we're going to put little snarky sayings in there. So we're making kind of a little mini book here. All right, so it starts with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So let me grab my trimmer and a piece of paper. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to score. All right, now I'm using my trimmer to score. If you have a scoreboard, you're going to go ahead and do that as well. So I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to put it in portrait. All right, and we're going to score this in half. So half of 8.5 is 4.25. So we're going to score it in half. All right. We're going to rotate that paper so it's horizontal, and we're going to score it in half again. So that is going to be at 5.5. All right. Score in half, both ways. Oops, my little blade came out there. All right. So that has now divided our paper into quarters. Now we want to divide each of the quarters in half. All right. So the width of these quarters are 5.5. So half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So I'm going to line up my left hand edge to 2 3/4. Again, my paper's still horizontal, and we're going to score that. And then I'm going to flip my paper around. All right. So now we're working on this quarter, and we're going to do the same thing. Line it up at 2 3/4. All right. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera now. So you can see now my paper has a score line in half horizontally and portrait, all right, vertically, and then it's got the lines horizontally in quarters, all right? So we have it at 2.75, 5.5, and then 2.75 from there, all right? So we've got 8 equal little rectangles scored on there. Okay, we're going to place this back in the paper trimmer. I'm going to line it up at the 4.25, All right. Now what we're going to do, because my trimmer blade, I'm going to do it up here. My trimmer blade, I'm going to start from the bottom, and I want to trim that vertical line up to this first horizontal line here. All right. Which is at 2.75. All right. So I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to stop my blade right when that little notch on the side of my blade matches the score line here. I'm going to stop. All right, so this is what, oh, I need a new blade. I'm a little tattered there. All right, so this is what you're gonna have, all right? So everything is cut in half except for this piece here. All right, then we are going to fold this, all right? So I'm gonna fold this in half. All right, I'm gonna get my bone folder here to make sure all my folds are nice and crisp. All right, so that's the first one. All right, so I have the opening. Now I'm going to switch this over. This is the one that we just folded over, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to fold over. Then I'm going to fold back, and then I'm going to fold over. All right, so that becomes our first side. Then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to now go the reverse. I'm going to fold it over. Then I'm going to fold it back and then fold it over. And that becomes our little book, all right? Now, I know it looks not like a book right now, but it will be a little book, all right? So then what we need to do now is kind of, this will open like a book here, but the next page, what we need to do is we need to adhere these two together to create that page, all right? So I'm just gonna use my tape runner. And so I'm gonna just put some tape on the back, and then I'm going to fold those together to create a page. Now I would spend a little bit more time with my adhesive, making sure everything is good and down. All right, so that becomes our first page. Our next page is that one where we folded here. All right, that was the one that we did not cut along there. So we're just going to open it up and adhere those two little flaps together. All right, so now those are together. So now we've created our first page and our second page, and then our third page, we just need to glue these together. All right, so we'll put them together, and now we've created our little books. We've got a front cover, we've got page 1, page 2, page 3, and our back cover. All right, so a cute little book. And you could do another one and then adhere these together, and then you would have more pages. You would do the same process of what I just did, and then you would adhere the back cover to the front cover of the next one, and it will give you a bigger book. All right, so just a cute little book. To do. So then what I did on each of the pages, so you're going to have one page here, 2 pages, 3 pages, and then the back page here, is then I took the washi tape and I did each of those little floral images. All right. So what I did is when I laid them on, some of them I went right to the edge and then trimmed them off. Some of them I put a little bit more towards the center. So I've done that. I have also done where I've ripped the top edge and the bottom edge so there was no straight lines, all right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with this, and I'm going to use those rub-ons. So let's go ahead and grab, I'm going to grab this one here, and we're going to add some rub-ons. So this one here I'm using is Dancing Poppies. It's a good one as well. They're all good. All right, so this here, again, I'm not going to worry about cutting them. I am just going to start placing, and I have to hide my number 5 there. That was me numbering pages. So I'm just going to add a little bit. All right, so I'm going to place this here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to want to just try to get this kind of pink floral. maybe with just a little bit of the background, but that's what I'm going to concentrate on. Okay, so let's just pull this ever so slightly. Nope, I need a little bit more pressure. Oh, beautiful. All right. Ah. All right, so there is that there. I might put a little bit more up there. What do I got here that I can use? Oh, I like this little piece here. So let's just put this little bit here. I'm going to overlap a little bit. Again, I'm not too concerned if I get the full image. We just want little bits and pieces of it. Oh, okay, there we go. Lovely. All right, so there's that. All right, so we've kind of like filled that in. I'm going to just put this here. And now we can add some little bits of ephemera now. So let me just move this to the side here. And let's just, let's see what we can add. I need a tray to put these all out. Then I can really see. I'm just going to mix up my 2 packs here. All right, I think I'm going to take this floral here. Now, when you're putting your ephemera on, you want to make sure you don't go past the score line because that is a fold. So I think I'm just going to kind of pop this one up. Matches kind of that floral there. Just making sure I'm on this side of the score line. All right, and let's see what else we got here. We need a butterfly in there as well. Oh, that one looks nice there. So I'm going to add this one here. And I am going to glue this one on, I think. And again, I just glue the body. All right. So let's just stick that on there. Going to let that glue set. And now for this one here, I'm going to use the snarky sentiments because I just think it'd be fun. All right, here, when I ask for directions, please don't use words like left. All right, so I'm going to, I'm not, okay, I'm going to do this one. I'm not crazy. The voices tell me I'm entirely sane. So this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this down. All right, so I'm going to just cut this, and now we can actually, I'm going to glue this on. So I just cut this kind of where there would be a natural break in the little sentiments. All right, so I'm going to put I'm not crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and place that there. And then let's put the rest of the sentiment on the other page. All right, so there's one fun little page in our little mini book here. Really quick and simple. And we'll do one more, all right, just to show you, and then I'll finish it off camera. But I would probably give this a little bit of a speckly paint on there, maybe some black speckles, but how fun is that? All right, so let's flip the page, and now let's do this one here. All right, so oh, we need rub-ons first. What am I doing? We need rub-ons first. Okay, so let's go ahead, add some rub-ons. All right, so I'm going to go with this one over here. I'm just trimming the release sheet because I don't want that hint of red on there. So I'm just kind of moving that over just ever so slightly so I don't get that. And we are going to so let's just go right there. And again, I don't care if I get all of that background. I just want kind of this floral. I'm going to hold it in place and just kind of lift up. And then I can see what little elements I still want. That's good, that's good. All right, here we go. All right, so there is that. I'm loving that. I love the tattered edge that I have on there. All right, now let's add. I'm okay with a little bit of white space there, but I'm just wondering if I should put this little floral. Yeah, I'm gonna put this little floral down here. Perfect. All right, so I'm loving that. All right, so now let's see what we can add for ephemera. We're gonna need a nice big butterfly on here. So that one, oh, that one kind of matches that. So we could definitely put that on there. I'm not sure if we need any florals on here, just because there is a lot of lovely florals on this one. I'm just gonna search through. Yeah, I think I'm going to just put the butterfly on. And then we'll find another little sassy sentiment. So I'm going to put this butterfly kind of right in this area. All right, here is, I don't keep secrets. I just keep people out of my business. All right, so we're going to use that one. So again, I'm just going to use my scissors and trim that into 3 little sections. And let's glue them on. All right, so there is my second little page. All right. So, I mean, this book is just cute. I mean, this may not be your style, but the concept of making this book, you can make it work with anything. All right. So, you could actually take, let's just say, a piece of red cardstock and do the same thing. You know, there are lovely Christmas rub-ons. You can make a little mini book. You could put little mini pictures in here. But I'm loving this. All right. Oh, you want, shall we do one more page? Let's do one more page. All right. Why not? All right. I'm having too much fun. All right. So we're going to go back to our rub-ons. I think I might switch to another because I just want to see what these all right. Let's go to this one. This one here is Citrus Kissed Moments. Do, do. All right. Let's take a look at what's on these ones. Ooh, there's some good ones on here. All right. Let's go ahead and use this. And I kind of like this stuff down here. So again, I'm going to just lift off the release sheet. And we want some of that to overlap. All right, I'm going to go right there. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to get that butterfly for sure. Now I'm right on the seam here, so I've got to make sure I get some pressure there. All right, so I'm just going to slightly lift this up, see where I'm at. Okay. I probably should have done all the rub-ons first before I started adding all that ephemera, because now we got a little bit of extra bulk. All right, I think. All right, perfect. And again, I love that little tattered edge that we have going on here. I'm going to fill in just a little bit of this white space here. And whatever doesn't come off, all right, I'm going to start putting it over here. And maybe a little bit more up here. I just got a little bit of there. I'm going to just, okay, quit while you're ahead there, Brenda. All right, so there is that one. All right, so now we can go ahead and add some little bits of ephemera. So let's go through what we got here. And what I got is a big mess on my desk. That's what I got. That was almost a little too big. Well, that was a nice size there. Too many choices. Okay, I'm going to go with this one here. And I'm going to pop this one up. And then, of course, we want to add a butterfly as well. So I'm going to have this coming. Again, I don't want to go past the score line. All right, so there is that. And now I think we need a lovely butterfly on here. So we can do something. Oh, I like that one. All right, let's put this guy on there. And let's grab a little sentiment. You can see how quick and simple this is becoming. All right, let's see. Life's good, you should get one. Oh, these are just funny. You light up the room by simply leaving it. I should just pick one because then I start reading them and all right, let's do this one. I'll get over it. I just need to be dramatic first. All right, so let me trim this up. I just need to be dramatic first. All right. I like cutting them in threes. I just, odd numbers are best, right? So, all right, I'll get over it. I just need, all right, so there is my third page. All right, there we go. So there we go. Sorry, I was working off camera there. I'm sorry, Irene. All right, so there is our third page. Should we just finish this one up? Let's do one more. All right, and then the front covers, I will use some of the rub-ons and ephemera to embellish it. But let's do the last one here just because we only have one more to go. All right, so let's go back to the rub-ons I used on the last one. And I am liking this corner here. It has a little hint of blue in it, so let's go for it. All right, so I'm gonna go right to the edge with this one because there's a lovely postage stamp there that's got a straight edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I get that guy there. All right, let's see where I'm at here. Okay, let's get a little bit more pressure. No, I didn't get all that stamp there. I pulled it off too quick. The beauty about rub-ons is that you can just line them all up again. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit of this leftover here on this side. And let's just put a little bit of these little pieces that didn't go on. I don't like to waste, so I'm just going to, there we go. Okay, so there is that. Okay, I love that I got kind of a little crack in there. That's just because the image didn't transfer over. I didn't put pressure there, but I love the look of that. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add some goodness on here. Let's see. Do we want a pop of? Do we want a pop of? So let's go. That one's too big. I wanted just a little bit smaller. Okay. Oh, I like that there. All right, let's go ahead and pop this one. All right, so I don't want to cover up my postage stamp, so we've got that. Let's do a lovely butterfly on here. Let's see what I got here. This one's kind of nice. I'm going to go with the black and white one, I think. Again, I'm just going to glue this one on. All right, let's put this one down here, and then let's pick our final sentiment or snarky saying. All right, here we go. All right, don't worry about what people think. They don't do it often. That's what we're going to do. Do not worry. We're going to do that about what people think. All right. All right, so don't worry about what people think. Again, I want to make sure I'm not going over the seam or the score line there, because then it's not going to fold nice. So I'm going to go right up to that one. And then we'll put the little saying here. All right, so there is my little mini book. Like I said, I will decorate the front and the back cover, but how fun is that? All right. So there is just a great way of using the rub-ons and the washi tape, something a little bit different there. All right, so that is my little demo with the washi tape, the rub-ons, and the matching ephemera. All right, so this is a nice coordinated look. There's also papers that match this line as well, but I love the look that you get with the different elements I use this evening. All right, so that's the book, and then I'm going to bring out my 2 cards as well. And that is it for this evening, everyone. I appreciate you joining us. Hope you liked it. It's a little bit different, but I am loving it, loving it, loving it. I'll finish these up. I'll post pictures on our Facebook page tomorrow morning. I'm going to splatter them with a little bit of black paint, and then I'll post them, like I said, tomorrow morning on our Facebook page so you can see the finished results. All right, everyone, that is it for me. All this product is available on our website, the washi, the rub-ons, the ephemera, the 2 dies that I or the one die that I did use is there as well. And then we do have different sayings. I don't know if those sayings that I use per se are on the website, but we do have them on order. I can tell you that. So take a look if you are interested. All right, so that is it for me, everyone, tonight. Thanks for joining me and have yourself a wonderful night. We'll talk to you soon.